So just want to thank you for dialing in. It is Thursday, 1:07 p.m. Pacific Time, August 23rd, and today my name is Anthony Tiarino. I run the business development and sales side of GroupPrice.com, and our featured speaker today is Myles Younger, founder of Can Banners. He's based out here in San Francisco. He helps small business owners, entrepreneurs, and startup companies grow by offering online ads for their company. As most of you know, GroupPrice, we're a resource for SMBs, startups. We help them access products, services, tools at discount prices. We've been in business since January 2011, and we continue to grow our member base, grow our merchant base, and create this highly efficient marketplace for small business owners to gain access to discounted prices and great products and software and services. If you go to GroupPrice.com and click on all deals, you'll come to a section on our website that shows all of our deal categories. The value that we're bringing to the table for members and our buyers is pre-negotiating deals, typically between 40 and 75% off. We have categories from advertising, design services, all the way down the line to social media and web and mobile. What I'd like to do is pass over this slideshow to Myles Younger, and he's going to start his presentation here, online ads.
Thanks, Anthony. So I'm Myles, co-founder of Can Banners. We have a self-serve app that lets anyone create banner ads for their online ad campaigns. Just to let you know what we're going to run through here. Hopefully everybody can see my screen now. Just some display ad basics. Then you're going to go through the 10 mistakes that we're going to highlight that you want to avoid when you're making display ads. Run through a quick demo of our app. It probably won't take more than 90 seconds to 2 minutes, and then happy to do a little Q&A at the end. Okay, so first off, we'll just run through a couple of basics about display advertising. Display advertising and banner advertising are both interchangeable terms. I'll probably use them interchangeably as we go through this. Technically it's any kind of advertising that uses imagery. So you can see the example that I've supplied here. It's just a screenshot of Yahoo.com with a Wells Fargo 300 by 250 ad. Technically, display advertising also includes, Facebook ads, but this presentation is not going to be specifically focused on Facebook ads. Some of the principles can still be applied, but we're going to focus on, these basic banner ads that you see online. A question that we get a lot is, where are good places to run banner ads, especially for small and medium businesses that may not have very large ad budgets. Of course, Google is probably the biggest. You can do your text-based search ads in Google, but you can also run banner ads through Google, and their tools are just getting more and more sophisticated all the time. And I don't think that they have a budget minimum. The same is true for AdRoll. They're specifically focused on something that's called retargeting that you might want to look into, but they have a very easy self-serve app. And then blog ads and buy ads are two other great places where if you don't have a huge budget and you want to buy some ad space, I would definitely check them out. Another couple of details just about display ads, just to kind of solidify what we're talking about here, is 99% of display ads fall under a pretty specific set of specifications. And these specifications cover dimensions, width by height, file size, code that's running inside the banners, and really it's a very long list of specifications. So it's something that if you do get into display advertising, just make sure that you do a little bit of homework and make sure you read what the specifications are wherever you're advertising. And on this slide, these are just three examples of three of the most common ad sizes, but there's other ad sizes out there. And again, if anyone has questions on any of kind of just basic display ad knowledge. Happy to answer those questions at the end. So we'll just get into these 10 mistakes that you want to avoid when you're making display ads for your company. Number one, we see this a lot. People make a lot of banner ads on CAN banners. Hundreds and hundreds of banner ads get made on our site every month. So we see a lot of good banner ads and we see a lot of bad ones. And this is a mistake that people make pretty commonly. Unfortunately, there isn't really a way for us to prevent our users from making this mistake, other than to try to give them advice in circumstances like this. You can see the ad on the left just has way too much text. It's very detailed, but no one's ever going to read that. James Carpenter, this fictional insurance broker, his name is way up towards the top. You can't really see it. Whereas the ad on the right, it's very easy to very quickly understand what it is James Carpenter is selling. If you're in the market for car insurance or whatever kind of insurance, it's just much easier to absorb the ad on the right. So mistake number two is kind of related to mistake number one. Is in addition to having too much text, you can have a good amount of text, but you want to make sure that the text is clear. And so in this case, on the left, it's perhaps clear that this guy is an insurance broker, but on the right, it's very clear that he sells car insurance. So if he's running an ad campaign to try to get new customers who are in the market for car insurance, the ad on the right is going to be a lot more effective because it's just easier in a split second to understand that this guy sells car insurance. So if you're interested in car insurance, you're a lot more likely to click on the ad on the right. So another mistake are bad logos. And when I say bad logos, it's bad logos for the purposes of banner advertising. A lot of companies have logos that they might be very happy with, and it works great in their window or on their storefront or on their business card. But when you're running banner ads, you want to make sure that your logo is going to be clear when it's viewed in a relatively small area. So the ad on the left has the same company name as the ad on the right. It's Patty's Floral Arrangements, but the ad on the left is virtually illegible in a banner ad unless you look really, really closely. Whereas the ad on the right, it's pretty clear what Patty's Floral Arrangements is. It's Patty's Floral Arrangements. And because most people aren't focusing on banner ads for a very long time, you want to make sure that your ads are just super clear in a split second. That someone who just glances at your ad can instantly understand what it is you're doing. And if your logo isn't clear, you're going to miss out on that opportunity, and your ads aren't going to get noticed. They're not going to get clicked on, and you're not going to get very much ROI out of your ad budget. So next up, one that we see a lot is just bad photography. If you have professional photography that either you've taken or that you've hired someone to take, dealing with your business, that's awesome. You should use those photos in your ads. But if you don't have professional photography, don't just use your own snapshots, and don't use some screenshot that you took off the web. Our advice is always to go to sites like iStockPhoto.com, where you can buy inexpensive professional stock photos. In this example, you can see on the left, it looks like some, snapshot that somebody, took of a bunch of flowers on the floor, and, the one on the right looks like a very nice professional photo. And obviously, this is an exaggerated example, but you're always going to be better off using good photography. Unless you're in the, dancing mortgage ad industry, which, most small businesses don't really want to present themselves that way. So that kind of leads us into mistake number 5, and this is a very generalized mistake, but it's an important point to make. Is just having unprofessional design in online advertising and any type of advertising. It's just extremely important to have professional design. It's it's a reflection on your business, and it's going, the more professional that you look, the more likely people are to want to do business with you. So in this example, we have, 2 banner ads for pizza. One on the top I tried to make as horrendous as I could in Photoshop, and the one on the bottom was made using canned banners and a couple of photos. And so you just have to ask yourself, who are you more likely to order food from? Which business do you want to eat the food they made? And of course, that's specific to pizza, but you can extend that to virtually any industry. Who are you more likely to trust? The company that has professional-looking ads or the company that has, very amateurish-looking ads? So the design quality is really important. So next mistake, again, we see this one an awful lot, is all ads need to include something called a call to action. This is a standard piece of marketing terminology, and a call to action is what you want the customer to do when they see the ad. You need to tell them what you want them to do, otherwise your ad is just going to kind of fall flat. So again, this is a very exaggerated example, but on the left we have this ad. It's got the same photo, it's got the same logo, it says delicious pizza, which your pizza might very well be extremely delicious, but unless you tell people to visit your website or order pizza or to call you or whatever it is you want them to do, if you don't tell them to do that, they won't do it. And again, you'll be wasting your ad budget. No one's going to click your ads, no one's going to respond. So you just need to make sure that your ad tells the viewer what it is you want from them. And there's no reason to not be very direct. There's no reason to be coy or beat around the bush about what you want them to do. So next mistake, and this one's a little bit more subtle, but it's important if you can make it happen. Is assuming you have a website, which if you don't, you really should. But your ads should match the look and feel of your website to the greatest degree possible. And the reason for this is, first of all, just pure aesthetics. Everything's just going to look better and look cleaner. But in online advertising, it's a numbers game. A fraction of a percent change in response rates can have a huge effect on your overall ROI. So at any stage of the process, where it's someone seeing your ad, someone reading your ad, someone clicking your ad, someone visiting your website, you want to minimize it every step of the way. You want to minimize the fall-off, the people who abandon the process. And one of the things that can cause people to abandon the process is that they click on an ad that looks one way and they reach a website that looks completely different. It catches them off guard. They don't like that. People want to feel comfortable. And when your ad looks completely different than your website, people are going to feel uncomfortable. And over all of the thousands of impressions and hundreds of clicks that you're going to get on average, you're going to find more people dropping off if your ads don't match your website. So you just want to make sure that there's some integration there, just to make that process as smooth and as comfortable for people as possible. So next mistake is don't pay too much, and this is somewhat self-serving because my company offers a super cheap way to do banner ads. But even if you're working with a designer, make sure to weigh the cost of the ads themselves versus the ROI that you're trying to achieve. Ads have a short shelf life. They're not going to run forever. So there's not really a lot of point to investing a great deal of money into a set of ads that's only going to run for a couple of months because you've got a limited set of time to kind of recoup your investment. So basically, to the greatest extent possible, keep your investment to a minimum. Here there's just 2 examples. It's very rough math. Again, they're very extreme examples, but you can see how the cost of the ad design completely turns the ROI upside down. In one case, you've got a little bit of negative ROI, which is bad because you've thrown your money away basically. And in the other case, you've got a 33% ROI, which is very, very good for online advertising, on average. So next mistake is, if someone's going to make some ads for you, don't hire an amateur. This is true, of course, in anything that you're hiring someone to do, but banner advertising is full of little landmines that a professional will know about and they're going to help you with. But an amateur might have the best intentions, but they're just not going to be able to know all of the little gotchas about banner advertising. Canned banners, we've been in business for a couple of years now. We've seen everything. We are experts in banner advertising beyond what I ever expected. And it's amazing how much knowledge there is out there that you need to have about banner advertising in order to do it right. This is pretty straightforward. Just make sure the person you're hiring actually has experience with banner advertising. So last mistake is not testing anything. This is one that's maybe a little bit more advanced. Maybe after you've done your first ad campaign, you can, and you're kind of just comfortable with the process as a whole. You can go back and take a look at testing. But online advertising, again, as I said, it's a numbers game, and it's your success is very heavily dependent on experimentation and testing. The first time that you launch a set of online advertising, of banner ads, the vast likelihood is that they're going to probably fail. I don't want to discourage anyone who's listening in from advertising online, but there's big upside in advertising online. But what you need to do is you need to test what you're doing, figure out what works, then start doing that thing that works, then test something else, find something that works better, and just keep improving the performance until you get it to where you want it to be. So in this example, this is just 3 basic tests that any company could run. Is in the first test, you test the photo, and this is using the National Guard as an example. You've got the guy dangling out of the helicopter, and you've got the guy in the dress uniform, and you might test and find that the dress uniform works better. Then, okay, so now you know that. So then, you might find that there's a difference with the tagline. Find your strength versus take the challenge. And take the challenge might win. It might get double the clicks for some reason. But you're never going to know that until you start testing this. And then the last test is, the pretty obvious test is color. Color has a huge effect on what people do and their emotional reaction to things and whether they'll click or not. So that's definitely something you want to test. So that's it for the mistakes. I'll just run through really quickly what it is that Canned Banners does and how it relates to all this. And then I'll run through a quick demo. So we have a self-serve app that lets you make banner ads. Instead of talking too much about it, I'll just start running through a quick demo. Hopefully everybody can see my screen and see what's going on, and I'm not moving too fast here. But we have this gallery of templates, and so I'll just pick a template. So this is a template that's got some default stuff in it for a t-shirt company. But let's say that I run a catering business. So first thing I'll do is I'll upload my logo. So we've got a little button to do that. And, I've got my little folder with some images in it. So we've got an image cropper here. I'll just zoom out a little bit, maybe put it off to the left, hit done, and you'll see the logo show up in the banner there. So next I'll add an image. So this is an image that our company purchased off of iStockPhoto.com. That was the company that I mentioned earlier. As I said, they're very inexpensive images, and they're very nice. I mean, like, this is a really nice image of some bruschetta. It's very appetizing. It's very professional. And then next thing, we let you choose from a couple of predefined color schemes. We've tried to pick color schemes that work well together and that look good and professional. And I can choose a font that's maybe a little more similar to my logo. let's see, catering for parties, weddings, and more. And then I don't really need a price there. I don't really want that, so I'll just get rid of those and then visit our website. Okay, so, and then maybe, I don't know when I would do that. Looks kind of neat. So anyway, I'm basically done. I didn't want to take up everybody's time with this demo, but that's in a nutshell how Canvas works. Is you just type in your text, upload your photos or your images, your logo, and select a couple of options, and you're basically done. We're automating what you would otherwise hire a designer to do. Our prices are very reasonable. Starts at $25 for an ad. So if I was just going to buy this ad, I'd pay $25 for it. And it's ready essentially instantly. It takes about 1 to 2 minutes to generate the ad, but that's just about it. So I guess we can move over to Q&A now. And I see somebody. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Myles, you can just go down the last or the next 20. Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit through Can Banners and ad roll. First off, thank you very much. Great delivery. I've learned a ton about banner ads, as we are a small company as well. We are internet centric, so this is something that we can easily buy for ourselves here at GroupPrice. This screen shows 2 offers for GroupPrice members right now. Hopefully a few of you have seen this in the past. We have obviously the Can Banners. Myles promotes this for $60 for 6 custom online banner ads. One other merchant that works very well with Can Banners, and I believe these 2 companies work together well, Can Banners and AdRoll, is a $50 for $150 ad campaign credit at adroll.com. They're the most effective retargeting platform in the nation. What is retargeting? Well, some statistics show that only 2% of the people that visit your website actually convert into customers, and what AdRoll does is chase down that other 98% for you through other type of product placements, whether it be can or bad ads or any type of SEO campaigns. But it's a great service focused on SMB growth. So I encourage you to look at these 2 deals. What GroupPrice is offering in the next couple of days, and this expires on Friday, is an extra $5 credit with the code TAOT5, as you can see there on that screen. So if you want to take advantage of one of these deals, or maybe both, GroupPrice will give you another $5 towards that credit with that code you see there. And again, that expires Friday around 5 p.m. Pacific time. Myles, if you go to the last page, I'll just give a little exit here. There's our faces, co-founder Myles Younger, co-founder Can Banners. You can find him on Twitter at Can Banners, also Facebook.com/Can Banners. And this is me, Anthony, head of business development here at GroupPrice. Again, everyone, I appreciate your time. It is now 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, and I do see a couple of questions coming in on the queue, so I just wanted to open it up for a Q&A portion of the webinar. The first question is coming from Daniel Soto, and he's asking, what is quote-unquote click tag?
Sure. That's something that I used to find extremely confusing before I started doing banner ads for a living. So a click tag is specific to Flash banner ads. So those are the kind of banner ads that you would make on Can Banners, animated Flash ads. A click tag is basically a requirement. So if you were going to run your banner ads on a service like AdRoll, they're going to require that your Flash ads have this click tag code embedded in them. And what the click tag code enables AdRoll to do is you give them the banner ad file, but you also give them the page that you want the banner ad to click through to, and the click tag code enables them to make the banner ad clickable. And the beauty of the click tag is that AdRoll can update the landing page for the banner ad at any time without you needing to provide a new ad file. So if you were to hard code your URL into the ad file, but then you decided that you wanted to send your banner ad traffic to a slightly different page, you'd have to provide new ad files to everybody. You'd have to upload new ones to AdRoll, and you'd have to upload new files to AdWords, but with a click tag, all you have to do is just give them a new URL, and they can make the change on their end. It's an industry standard thing. I think if you go to helpcenter.canbanners.com, or if you go to builder.canbanners.com and just click help, I think we have an article on click tags, but hopefully that kind of answers your question. It can be a difficult thing to grasp if you're not a banner ad designer, and that's another reason that I said hire a professional, is because if someone who doesn't do banner ads for a living is not going to really know what click tags are, how they work, and what's going to happen is they're going to make some banner ads for you. They're going to hard code your landing page into the ads. You're going to send them to AdRoll, and a couple days later, AdRoll's going to send those ads right back to you saying they need click tags, and you will have wasted several days of your time and possibly more money with the designer getting them to fix it, and it can just be a big headache. So it's a good question, and it's something to watch out for.
Thanks for answering that, Myles. Daniel said hopefully that answered the question. Second question is coming from Elkin Rodriguez. The question is how to design advanced banners like widgets with video, Twitter feed, and web form using Can Banners, and how much for each banner?
Sure. So Can Banners actually does not provide those kind of advanced banner ads. We can. It's way more expensive than just our self-serve ad builder. You're probably talking about something in the several $1,000 range. So it's not really something that we push very hard on, in the small to medium business market, of course. But there's other tools that you might want to look at out there for creating those kind of banner ads that have maybe a Facebook like button or a Twitter feed in them, or video. There's a tool out there called Banner Snack. They're basically a competitor of ours. They might have some tools like that because they offer you a lot more freedom when you're creating your ads. My advice would be to start simple, though. Is start with simple ads, get those working, and then if it looks like there's going to be value in adding video and social media to your ads, then go ahead and do it. But it can be a little risky investing in all that stuff up front, because it does tend to be significantly more expensive than just basic banner ads. I'm trying to think of any other companies where you could do that relatively inexpensively, but I would say that bannersnack.com is probably a good one to look at.
Great. Thanks, Myles. And again, if you're looking to ask a question, you can simply just chat it through or raise your hand, and I can bring you off mute. The third question is coming from Victor Yu. He's asking, where do we get the graphic elements, and how do we edit those graphics without Photoshop skill?
Yeah, sure. You know what, Anthony, everybody can still see my screen, right?
Yes, I see it there.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, actually, is just show you something. Let's see. There is a site called Pixlr.com, and if you don't have Photoshop, this is awesome. It's got most of the functionality that you would find in Photoshop that a normal person would want to do in Photoshop. I don't use the tool that much myself, but I don't know, sponge tool. Let's see, what can we do with this thing? So you can see I'm kind of lightening up the photo. Anyway, point is this is a free photo editor. And Anthony, is my screen in the right? Can you see the whole screen?
Yeah, I can see. I see the little hors d'oeuvre there with the bread and tomatoes. Full screen. I see your mouse moving, but I don't see it maximized. Now I see it maximized. There you go.
Okay. So anyway, Pixlr.com. That's a great resource for editing photos or even making a logo. You could make your logo here for free. There's other than your time, there's not really any cost in messing around with it. iStockPhoto.com is another great place to get professional stock images. Like, let's just type in pizza and see what they have for pizza. So like there, it's like delicious looking pizza, and you can buy this photo for probably a couple of dollars. Yeah, so yeah, this will cost you a couple bucks to get this photo. It probably costs you hundreds of dollars to do your own photo shoot. So that's another great resource, and we highly advise people to just fork over a couple bucks for professional stock photos for your ads instead of trying to cobble together some random assets for your banners. And then if you want to get a logo design, you can go to somewhere like 99signs.com and hire basically random people. It's kind of crowdsourcing business model, and they can make banner ads for you too. I shouldn't send you guys to too many competitors, but whatever you need, you could get it up here. Banner ad design. So anyway, yeah, those are just a couple of resources that people should check out.
Great, thanks for that, Myles. Myles, myself and my online marketing executives, sometimes we look into Icon Finder. Are you familiar with that service?
I am not.
Okay. I blasted the URL to the audience so they can have just another resource to use when thinking about creating banner ads for the website and company.
Yeah, I mean this is a good one. I'd be curious what happens if I type in pizza. So yeah, here we've got a little pizza icon. So no, this kind of stuff is super helpful, and there's just all sorts of this stuff all over the web. The one thing to caution is just to make sure that this whatever you have, you're either buying it or it's free of copyright, so you don't get yourself into trouble. That's just something to be mindful of.
If there are any other questions, feel free to ask them. It is now 1:39 Pacific time, so I'll give it about one more minute. Again, feel free to ask a question through chat. You can raise your hand. I can bring you off mute. Again, we do appreciate your time for dialing in and spending about half an hour with us. GroupPrice runs these webinars every 2 weeks or so. Our next webinar will be held in 2 weeks, and I believe we're going to cover mobile apps and how to create a mobile app or mobile browser for your website. So you can get on the iPhone, and Android, and BlackBerry, whatnot, and have some exposure for people visiting your website through their mobile phone. So far we've had 3 questions, one from Daniel, one from Elkin, one from Victor. If there are 0 questions at this time, actually Kay Wagner came in. She asked, what do you think of animated banner ads versus static ones? The difference in effectiveness? Any differences there?
That's a very good question. People sort of study that from time to time, and I've seen results that go both ways. Some people, their conclusion is that animated banner ads tend to perform better because they're better at getting people's attention, whereas some people have studied it and found that static banner ads do better, and they do better precisely because they're not as attention grabbing. It's kind of counterintuitive that people can tend to ignore flashy banner ads just based on pure instinct. We've all kind of trained ourselves to ignore a lot of banner ads. It's a perfect thing to test, frankly. Naturally, a limitation of having just a static, non-animated banner ad is there's not going to be any interactivity. It kind of is what it is, whereas an animated banner ad, if you want to have, here I can go to Can Banners and just show you one of our templates. You can have interactivity depending on, what it is you're selling. You might want something, we actually have, we've had several real estate firms use this template. I don't know if you can really see the animation all that great in the screencast. But you can browse these 3 items. You can't do that with a static ad. But then again, maybe a static ad would get higher clicks. Our ad builder outputs both Flash and JPEG, so you can run them both and see which one does better. But anyway, I don't have a definitive answer to the question, other than my advice would be to test one versus the other for your own campaign and see what's going to work in your specific circumstances.
Great. Thanks, Myles. Elkin Rodriguez has a second question. She's asking how does retargeting banner work? So I guess maybe if a customer comes to Can Banners, they work with you on creating some banners for the company, and if they were looking to purchase the AdRoll deal or work with AdRoll, I guess what would be the process and how would that work?
So just a real quick primer on how retargeting works. I've just gone to Zappos.com because I know they're a big retargeter. They probably spend, God knows how much money, tens, hundreds of millions a year, I don't know, on retargeting. So, if you go around and browse their site, what they're doing is they're putting a cookie on my browser right now. It's an anonymous cookie, but what the cookie does is it allows them to find me later on and show me a follow-up ad. So, basically they know the products that I've browsed. Maybe they know that I'm in the market for a running jacket, but then I get distracted and I leave the site and I go to, I don't know, I found that dictionary.com does a lot of retargeting. So if I go to dictionary.com, this may or may not work right now. But, well, actually Fluke. Okay, here we go. This is a potential client that we might be working with. That's the only reason I'm seeing this ad about thermal imagers. Otherwise, I don't know why they would show me that ad. But from their logic, I went to their website and then I left. And then, what Fluke wants to do is I must be interested in thermal imagers, so they're going to show me these follow-up ads to see if they can get me back. And so, with a company like AdRoll, the basic process is very simple. You go, you put in a credit card number, you set your daily budget. I'm not sure what the minimum is or even if they have one, but, just set a daily budget that you're comfortable with. Make some ads. Use Can Banners or use whatever means you want to make some ads. You upload the ads. You place a little bit of code on your website. It allows the AdRoll ads to work. And then you're kind of up and running at that point. Then what's going to happen is as people come to your website and then leave, they're going to see your ads as they're browsing around the web. And so it's going to allow you to follow up with people who bounced off your website. Maybe you never got their email address. Maybe they never bought anything, but they're still interested in what you're selling, and maybe they just forgot about you because they got busy. It is going to allow you to follow up with them, and in some percentage of people, they're going to see the ad and they're going to be like, that's right, I was looking for a thermal imager. Let me click this ad and go, buy one. And anyway, I'm just going to refresh again, see if we get no Zappos yet. Anyway, I don't know, Anthony, does that answer the question, do you think?
Yeah, I think that answers the question from my viewpoint. Hopefully Elkin feels the same way. I appreciate that, Myles. Thanks very much. It's now 1:46 p.m. Pacific time. We're going a little over here, which is okay. But if there is one last question, feel free to chat that in the next 5 to 10 seconds. In the meantime, just wanted to thank everyone again for joining the webinar. We will have another one in 2 weeks or so. This is recorded and this will be available. I will have Victor Yu, our online marketing lead, send every attendee a link to this slideshow and to this audio, so you can find that via YouTube. So if there's any last questions, throw it in quickly. If not, I'd like to conclude this webinar. Myles, thanks again for your time and your delivery. If you have any questions, feel free to always, send Myles an email, myles.younger@canbanners.com. If you have any other questions, you can always send me an email, anthony@GroupPrice.com. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day and an even better weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Anthony. Bye.